Okay. Right. So welcome everybody to your evening flow. We'll begin sitting. And we'll use the transition breath to move out of the busyness of the day and onto the mat. So once you've found your comfortable seated position, you might choose to close your eyes, you might not. It's entirely up to you. But just follow the breath for a few counts, just a few breaths, noticing where you're at, how you feel, taking that body weather reading. And when I mean a body weather reading, I also mean how does the emotional body feel and how does the physical body feel. Just noticing any changes that may have happened over the last week or so. And if it's been a while since you came onto the mat, then just feeling into all the changes. Relax the mouth. Inhale through your nose. And allow the exhale breath to gently move through softly parted lips. There's no hurry. No need to hurry the breath along, force it, push it, or anything else. Just feel the breath in and let the exhale breath find its own way out. Long, soft, relaxed, letting the jaw go, softening the throat as you do this. By extending this exhalation breath, you'll gently settle the nervous system and move from busyness into slow time, now time. There's also our labor breath, the breath that can be used through any stage of labor, helping us to calm, to be present. Gently placing hand to heart, hand to baby. Take a moment as you drop into heart space to ask the important question, how am I today? That compassion turns inward, softening any hard edges, kindness to self, and then gently drawing all of your love and enveloping baby in your love. And of course, welcoming baby into womb space. Interlace your palms in front of you. You might choose to open your eyes if they're closed. Inhale, flip the interlace up to the sky, grow long. Exhale, spread the fingers, draw the elbows back, squeeze between the shoulder blades and bring it down, helping to move tension out of the shoulders. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, squeeze and drag the shoulders, spread the fingers, get into the fascia. And one more, just like that. Moving tension out of the shoulders, and you'll certainly feel it if it's there. Taking it down. I think Aliki will find us again now. She's dropped off. Inhale, sweep and reach. And on this exhale, take it over to one side. It really doesn't matter which side, and deepen into a side bend. And then from here, bend your elbow slightly and shrug your shoulder up to your earlobe. Bend and shrug, bend. Shrug and hold. This engages the fascia, not just the muscle, so that you can feel beneath the surface of the skin, allowing for opening, spaciousness. Taking your final breath as you deepen. Inhale, coming to center, interlace the palms. Flip the interlace to the sky, grow the lengths of the waist, chin down. Exhale over to the side, and again, engaging fascia. Spread the fingers, draw the elbow back, and take the shoulder to the earlobe. Take the shoulder to the earlobe. And one more time as you extend, and this just brings you through the various demographics of the body. So you will feel into the skin, below the surface, into the muscles, the intercostals, the ribs, maybe a little bit of a tug down into the round ligaments. And gently rise. Fingertips come to the ground. Relax the shoulders and the jaw. Maybe breathe it out of the mouth. Beautiful. Coming on to all fours now. Hopefully Aliki will find us again, otherwise I'll send her the recording. Spreading the fingers. And inhale, lift the tail. Pull the heels of the hands and the knees towards each other. It's a small squeezing motion as you bring the chest up. Press firmly into the tops of the feet and the palms as you round. Exaggerate the movements. Again, feel a slight engagement through the muscles and the arms, the inner arms slightly engaged. Just giving you a little bit to feel into, to experience. She sent me a message. Do 2 more of those. Internet has collapsed because of the storm, so there must be a storm in Joburg, I'm guessing. Beautiful. Bring your knees slightly closer together. Flip your palms around so that your fingers face the knees and the fingers are spread. The thumbs are now turning out to the outer edges of the mat. We're going to take little cat and cow movements here, keeping the palms flat to the ground. And just stretching out the wrists. Beautiful. So one of the biggest complaints, and Tammy will know, with postnatal are the wrists taking strain post-birth. So creating bulletproof wrists now is a huge help. Bring the knees together, tuck the toes under. Keep the palms on the ground, but shift your weight back so that the hips go back and your arms are now on an inclined plane, bringing a lot of sensation down into the wrists. We'll take 2 more breaths, stretching out the wrists. If it's too much, of course, you just shift your weight forward. If you like the stretch, you continue to explore it. Keep those toes tucked under because we're now going to open the arches of the feet, which tend to collapse slightly as the ligaments soften. Come on down, peeling the hands off the ground, interlock the palms, squeeze the base of the fingers, and then just snake the wrists out. Flip the interlace up to the sky, extend, and then hook the thumbs behind the shoulders and work your elbows around in big circles. Again, exaggerated movements, creating lymphatic flow, so important for taking toxins away from the bloodstream, protein to the blood through the lymph. Change the rotation. I know that the feet could be feeling this, they could be having a conversation, let them have the conversation. We often wear shoes too much and our feet aren't always touching the bare earth. Once again, interlace the palms, sweep the interlace high. And exhale, swim the arms around, place your palms to the ground. Untuck the toes. If you're a strong yogi, you might choose to scoop baby into the spine, stay on the tops of the feet, toenails in bed, lift the knees, and go back into downward facing dog on the tops of the feet like ballerina toes. If you haven't been exercising the feet much, don't do that. Tuck the toes under and move to a normal downward facing dog. Keep the fingers spread wide, a little bit of pressure into the fingertips. Tone the inner arms by spinning the eyes of the elbows forward slightly to face the thumbs and relax your neck. Beautiful. Walk your palms back. Press your hands to your shins, feet are hips distance apart. Inhale here. If baby gives you the space, exhale deepen into a forward fold. Inhale, Adho Uttanasana means you extend and lengthen, keep the chin slightly tucked to the back of the neck long. Exhale, deepen. And one more time, inhale, lengthen. This time, 2 breaths. As you exhale, fold deeper, and then take another deep inhale and exhalation. Once again, if you have heartburn, come up halfway. Don't go all the way down. Interlace your palms in front of you, bend your knees. Inhale, flip the interlace up to the sky. Urdhva Uttanasana. Sink down deep into this chair. Now scoop the pubic bone slightly up towards the base of the uterus. This just brings alignment into the pelvis and ensures that you don't put too much pressure on the linear elbow. This is an area that can sometimes separate. We don't want that to happen. Shift your weight onto your left leg and pick your right leg up. Straighten the right leg. Swing the right leg around in a wide arc. Roll onto the outer edge of the right foot off to the left side of the mat. Inhale, press your palms high up to the sky and exhale, side bend to the left, opening the right side body strongly. Keep that breath, particularly moving into the right lobes of the lungs. Come into neutral spine. Transitioning out of this takes a little bit of focus and practice. Press up onto the ball of the right foot. Carefully pick the right knee up and step at hips distance, sitting down in your chair. Welcome back, Aliki. Hopefully the storm allows you to complete your yoga practice.
Yeah, sorry, my Wi-Fi is just crashing.
No worries. Deepening into the chair again. Pick your left knee up, straighten the left leg. Swing the left leg around with control. Baby is your center of gravity. Roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. Inhale, extension. Exhale, side bend to the right. Open up the right side ribs. Keep the left side ribs. Keep the right knee bent as you deepen. Coming back towards center, press up onto the ball of your left foot. Slowly step your left foot, hips distance, straighten the legs, and relax your arms by your side. Close your eyes for a moment, soften your shoulders, and notice. Step your feet as wide as your mat, maybe rotating the toes out slightly. Sweep the arms up in a wide arc. Interlace the palms, flip the interlace. These movements just helping us to find our shapes and also feel our way into our shoulders. Palms to heart center as you deepen down into Malasana, squat. So squatting regularly in pregnancy is far more beneficial than crazy Kegels. Crazy Kegels are so 90s, leave them behind. They are not beneficial for pregnancy, no matter what you hear. When you understand the dynamics of the pelvic floor muscles, you'll get it. I had my first baby in my 90s, did crazy Kegels. Bad idea after I tore slightly through the pelvic floors. Lift the hips, walk the hands forward, and then I started exploring why. What's going on with the pelvic floor? We need tensile strength, not tension when we birth. Tensile strength. We need a relaxed pelvic floor, but a strong pelvic floor. It must be trampoline-like with strength that comes from flexibility. Beautiful. Look to your left palm and step your left foot to the front of the mat. Keep your fingertips on the ground on the inside of the left foot. Anchor firmly into the ball of the right foot. Keep the right leg super toed, strong. Deepen the hips, peel the gaze up And exhale, straighten your legs, roll the right heel directly behind the toes and bow. 2 more pulsations, these pulsating movements, allowing us to engage through the fascial tissues as well, which in the long run elongates the muscles and also gives them tone. And finally, deepening down again, final time, gaze up, exhale, press back, wide pyramid, and take the juicy stretch. Enjoy it. You might be walking your hands further forward. If the ground seems far away, hands to the shins, keeping the spine slightly longer. You're choosing your shape and seeing what works for you. One more deep breath. Gently bring your right knee down to the ground. Heel toe the left foot off to the side of the mat, and we're going to stir the pot. These are the movements that we use in early labor to help baby position and find good alignment to the birth canal. They can be used in active labor if baby is posterior and then nobody has to touch you. You are in control of your own body and you can help baby make the movements that they need to find their way through the birth canal. These are movements that can empower your own experience. Straighten the left leg, slide the heel away, walk your hands forward in a wide V shape, and take a bow. Stretch long, stretch deep. As you release the ribs, relax the neck. Beautiful. Working into the hips again, walk your hands back, slide that left foot so that it's opposite the right knee. And when you come up, your hips are square. I'm going to show you a different angle. Left foot opposite the right knee as you rise. Now we're working into the hips slightly differently. Again, these movements in labor help to open in early labor. Inhale, swing low to the left, sweep your right arm up. Exhale, take it back. Inhalation as you swing low, exhale, take it back. So the art of distraction is really important in labor. And one way of doing that is to keep your body moving, and labor becomes much more accessible, much easier. Beautiful. Deepen down onto your right heel, right palm to the ground behind you, rise and up. So in spinning babies, when they try to turn a posterior baby or get a baby below the pubic bone, they sometimes put a mom into weird position over a bed and then dangle the legs. We don't do that. The mom has control. Gently come on down. And by doing that movement, it's exactly the same as the movement that they do in spinning babies to get the baby's head off the pubic bone, except it's not painful and you're in control. Walk your hands back to the front of the mat, come back onto all fours, cat and cow. And Tammy, now that your body has done this once, your early labor was amazing. It's active labor that you really lost your shit at one point and you found it hard getting that baby up. It's not going to be so hard this time, Tammy, I promise you. Because you know what to expect and your body's done it before, and this time, baby, just keep those hips moving. You can get baby up easier. Press back, downward facing dog. First time is always the unknown. And when we get to the end of labor, it feels like you've been dragged through a bush backwards, and you're just really happy you did it. Beautiful. And it feels amazing. There's no better high than after you've had your first baby. It feels incredible. Look at your right palm, step your right foot forward, and release your left knee. You actually don't. Keep the left leg really strong. Fingertips to the ground. And then with a strong left leg, slowly sink the hips, lift the gaze, and take it back into your wide pyramid. Beautiful. Deepening through and really stretching it out. One more time. These movements as well, preparing the adductors and abductors for birth, really helping you along. Deepen into the forward fold now and explore the stretch. Beautiful. And the iliopsoas becomes very responsive when it's time to drop baby deeper. The ilio will release because it's got the space through these movements. Gently bring that left knee down. Heel toe your right foot off the mat to the right side and stir the pot. You'll move around, sway, swing, do whatever feels good. Really feeling into that hip. And you might be surprised to feel that the right and the left are telling a completely different story. Or maybe they feel the same, but very often there's differences in the two sides, two personalities in one body. And often it's the way that we hold our bodies, the things that we do on a regular, habitual basis every day. Straightening that right leg, slide the heel away, flex the foot, walk your palms in a wide V shape, right arm down the inner line of that right leg, and then deepen down to take the stretch. It feels really good. So spread yourself thin and feel into it. Beautiful. Walking your palms back, slide that right foot back, and then once again, align the right heel with the left knee and rise. Right toes pointed outwards. I've just swiveled myself so that you can see from the camera. Deepen down to the right, sweep your left arm, exhale, arise. Swing low and take it up. Yeah, so if I was in this position, this is what you'd be seeing, Sarah. Swing low and up. Right heel aligns with the left knee, right toes face away, and take it up. That's perfect. And this just gets into the hip. Obviously, these movements are also lymphatic, so we're finding lymphatic flow, which is really great in pregnancy. It makes you feel good. Sit down on your left heel, place your left palm on the ground behind you. If you aren't up to taking the back bend, don't take it. If you are, rising up, lifting up through the front body. And this shape again, even if you do this shape in labor, if the midwife says the baby's just too high, it'll bring your baby down. And gently come on down. And take a moment here, just sitting on your heels, hands to the thighs, close your eyes and feel. Beautiful. Coming back onto all fours, cat and cow. Take your time. And on your third, flex of the spine, tuck the toes, press back, downward facing dog. Relaxed neck, relaxed mouth. Beautiful. Choose which foot you're going to step forward and step it forward. Walk your palms between your feet and rotate your toes out 30 degrees. That means if there's two parallel lines from the short edge to the short edge of your mat, you have literally, from the parallel line, turned your toes out 2 inches. Bring your hands to your hips and rise. This is called Tadasana Samasthiti for Trikonasana. And it is a little bit off the traditional yoga, but so are women's hips. So what I'm wanting you to feel is the slight engagement of the pubic bone to the base of the uterus. So instead of the hips falling back, you're going to lift the pubic bone and bring it closer to the base of the uterus. This anchors the pelvis beautifully. Press into the balls of the feet with that slight external rotation of the toes. Open your arms wide, palms face up. Trikonasana Sthiti. Take a deep inhale at the central channel of your body. Exhale, reach to the right side. Place your right palm just below the knee. Reach your left arm high. Rotate your wrists to face above your head and extend your arm up and over. Breathe deep into this side stretch. Try and keep the pelvis aligned. We are working into muscles that aren't necessarily worked into in your traditional yoga practice. Inhale, arise. The inner thighs are turning on better. Hands to the hips. Deep breath in and out. Chin slightly down. Press firmly into the feet. Activate the quads. Open the arms wide. Palms face up. Exhale. Extend over to the left. Place the left palm just below the knee. Both feet, the toes are still slightly turned out. Reach up into the right palm and then extend the arm strongly over, ear towards the short edge of your mat. Keep spinning the ribs open and ensure that the feet feel anchored. This is a stretch of the round ligaments, so just listen in, the round ligaments at the base of the uterus. Inhale, rise, hands to the hips. Take the gaze down, relax the neck, and pause a moment. Turn your right toes to the short edge of your mat and left toes to the long edge of your mat. This is a traditional Trikonasana now. So left toes, long edge of the mat, right toes to the short edge of the mat. We're going to be taking the hips and the knee and the ankle into a range of motion that again is not your traditional, but creates a vibrant strength into a pelvis that needs to birth. Open the arms wide, palms face up. Take a deep inhale, press firmly into the feet as though you're pulling them slightly away. Exhale, bend the right knee, keep bending and reach. Yes, your knee is slightly going to overshoot. Yes, we're flouting all the rules. And then press into the foot and rise. Hands to the hips, rotate the right toes, long edge of the mat, left toes, short edge of the mat. Open the arms wide. Inhale up the central channel of the body. Exhale, deepen, deepen, deepen. Keep reaching, keep moving over until you feel that you've gone as far as you can. Yes, we're creating some stress on the joints, but it's positive stress. Slowly press into the feet. Rise, hands to the hips, toes rotate to short edge, long edge of the mat. Take it to the right again, and this time we're going to reach and move into Ardha Chandrasana, but keep the right knee bent. Open the arms, bend the right knee, reach, 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 extend. Place your right fingertips on the ground. Then lightly press off your left foot, keep the right knee bent, and float the left leg parallel to the earth. Keep reaching your left arm up to the sky. Your right knee stays bent. Spin the left hip open. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, bend the right knee. Keep the left leg parallel to earth. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, bend. We are creating vibrant strength. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Hold. Slowly lower the left foot to the ground. Rotate your right toes. Bring your hands to your hips. Rise. Pause a moment. Rotate the left toes to face the short edge of the mat. Open the palms, palms face up. Deep breath in through the central channel of the body. Exhale, bend the left knee, keep reaching. Find your edge. Left fingertips come to the ground. Reach the right arm high. Keep the left knee bent and float your right leg parallel to the earth. Pause a moment. Find the integrity and strength in your hip as you keep spinning the right hip open. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, bend the knee. You'll dip slightly. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. There's blood flow happening in this leg now. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Pause. You are strong enough. Gently bring that right foot down. Turn all of your toes to the long edge of the mat. Heels might spin slightly outward. Walk your hands forward in a wide V shape. Center the hips between the arches of the feet. Weight them there. And then slowly bring your chest down. Relax your neck. And keep engaged through the legs. You might tone or lift the hamstrings up towards the sits bones as you take another 3 deep breaths in this beautiful stretch. If the spine is really struggling to find length, it's totally okay to bend the knees slightly. Press the bottom back a little bit, tummy, bum back. That's it. Now get the spine longer. And then slowly, maybe bring the legs towards straight. Or don't. That's also fine. Keep that spine long. Beautiful. Walk your hands back to the front of the mat and step back to your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Gently come onto all fours. Cat and cow here. You might even choose to close your eyes and really embody, feel. What does it feel like in the body? Beautiful. Come to neutral spine, extend your left leg back so that it's straight on the mat and turn the outer edge of the left foot onto the ground, pressing the foot strongly towards the back of the mat. Inhale, sweep that left arm around, spread the fingers, really feel into the stretch as you bird wing the arm back and down. Do that 2 more times. You might scoop forward slightly over the belly as you take the arm in a big halo. And exhale, expose, lift the ribs, open the ribs. 1 more time, inhale. It helps to do it with a bent elbow and spread fingers so that you feel into fascia, full rotation. And this time as you swing your arm up in front of your body, reach it overhead and then extend. Engage through that left leg. So it shouldn't be crinkly knee. Pull back through the knee. And then see if you can take your fingertips so that they go past the crown of the head as you press firmly into the right palm. Really reaching, you should feel the stretch through the side body. It's a good stretch. We want to create space there so that the pregnancy is comfortable to the end and you can breathe deep. Reach your left palm straight up to the sky. Shift your weight slightly onto your right palm and float your left leg parallel to the ground. This is an important shape for creating integrity in the deep transverse muscles, which helps with the pushing stage and also helps for the belly to bounce back quick after birth. We don't use the abdominis rectus anymore because that'll create separation of the abdominals. So we have to learn how to engage into the deeper abdominal muscles. If you're feeling it, bend your left knee, capture your foot, and bow your body. If you just don't have the balance today, take the left big toe onto the ground and wait. Beautiful, Tammy, it looks good. Gently step that left foot to the front of the mat, both hands to the inside of the left foot, and rock your lunge backwards and forwards. It's going to feel quite good. Nice release on the lower back, particularly for you, Aliki, because you did the whole bow series. So this just helps to work out the lower back. So good. Straighten the left leg, slide the heel forward, walk your hands forward. First of all, stretch length through the spine, and then simply bow, baby on the inside of that left leg. If you want more, you can squeeze the right knee and left heel towards each other slightly. It's a small tractioning sensation as you press back through the hips and fold deeply. Again, it's just about engaging the different dimensions of the body. Sometimes we only sit in the bones or the joints or the muscles, and we forget that there's this fabric under the surface of the skin that covers it all. And when we feel into that engagement of this fascial fabric, it can change our relationship to our muscles, joints, whole body space. Beautiful. Walking your palms back now, gently swing that left knee onto the ground. We'll take a rolling cat and cow, which means as you look up, you can press the hip out over to one side and start to roll the hips out as you undulate through the spine. Keep the head and neck relaxed so they go along for the ride. Changing the direction, going the other way. These movements are great in early labor. Forget about it in active labor. It won't feel good to do this in active. It feels good in early labor. Just because it felt good in active labor doesn't mean that you should try and feel your way into it. Just because it feels good in early labor doesn't mean that you should try and do it in active labor. If something isn't feeling good, change what you're doing, even if it felt good earlier. From here, you can separate the knees slightly. You can either take child's pose, baby between the thighs, but if you want a good shoulder and spine stretch, walk your hands forward towards the front of your mat, spin the fingers out externally slightly. So rotate them outwards just a little bit, push into the heels of the hands, and then slowly bring your chest down. Maybe it touches the ground, maybe it doesn't. If it's too much pressure, either take child's pose or come onto your forearms. You choose. You're taking a full puppy dog stretch or melting heart stretch, then breathe deep right into the pelvis. Press into the palms, slide the hands back a little bit first, and then ripple up. Bring the knees a little bit closer together. Extend your right leg back, anchor the foot into the ground. Now, if you really don't have balance, you can just swing your left foot off the mat. But if you keep the left shin aligned with the long edge of your mat, you're going to have to work deeper into deep transverse muscles. It's up to you. Inhale, spread those right fingers, swing the arm forward in a wide halo. Exhale, keep the elbow bent, pull it back behind the ribs, take the gaze back as well. And inhale, swing, halo. Exhale, reach back through an expansive breath. Take your time and feel the mobility through the ribs as you do this. After the third pass, extend your right arm over ear, spread the fingers again, engage, and this means also activate the right quadricep, push firmly into the left palm, lift the rib, and reach the arms overhead, the arm overhead. Let's be logical. If it was both arms, you'd be flat on your face. You don't want that. Extend. Beautiful. Reach the right arm straight up to the sky. If you're not too wobbly, shift your weight onto your left palm and float your right leg parallel to the ground. Breathe deep. The heart could be working by now. If it doesn't feel good for you, just gently place the right foot back on the ground or even come onto all fours in cat and cow. If you think that you can take it, reach for your right foot and bow your body. It takes a bit of practice to find this shape because the deep internal muscles, those transverse muscles, really do have to find their way. And that can take practice. But a few practices on and you'll have it. Onto all fours. Beautiful. Stepping your right foot forward now, just rock this lunge. These movements so good for creating space, freedom in the joints. So much of the work can be done here, so that by the time the body goes into labor, it's not struggling and battling with stiff joints and muscles and no mobility in the ligaments. The body has all of that already, so it can just focus on dilation and birthing. The rest of the work's been done. Straighten the right leg, flex the foot, walk your hands forward and enjoy the stretch. Remember, if you want to increase fascial engagement, you'll squeeze the knee and the heel towards each other, press back deeper through the hips and bow a little lower. And that'll take you into those various levels of fascial engagement. It can feel good. If it feels painful, move away. Beautiful. And gently come back onto all fours, rolling cat and cow again. When you find these beautiful, sinewy, sensuous movements, they'll be echoed in labor. It'll create freedom in the body and the spine. Breath matches the movement. Or the other way around, however you want to see it. Changing the directional flow if you wish. As you get towards the end of the pregnancy and very close to birth, you'll find that movement in one circular fashion feels good, and it doesn't quite feel right to move the body the other way. And then you know, you're getting really close to birth. And let's take it into the downward facing dog again. Tuck toes, scoot baby, and press back, down dog. Working into strength, cultivating strength in the legs. And this also strengthens the sacral chakra, the base chakra. Stepping the left foot forward, rotate the right foot strongly into the ground so that it's a slight external rotation. Phoenix wings to flight. Spread the fingers. Again, these are fascial movements. They create freedom in the body as you rise. Sweep the arms up. Exhale, squeeze and drag between the shoulder blades. Active movement. Inhale, curl around the baby, bow your head, sweep the arms forward. Exhale, big transformative movements and breath, taking up your space, particularly if you've had to sit at an office desk for any time today. And the final rotation. Interlace your palms, flip the interlace forward, reach for the sky. Beautiful. Find that foundation. If there's ever a wobble, just think about your feet and it'll bring you back to earth. So beautiful. Left forearm comes to the thigh, right arm, and 3 dynamic sweeps around. These unlock the shoulders. And sometimes the joints are the culprits in creating bands of constriction through the body. And here we give freedom for flow, for openness. Half bind that right arm behind you, roll the right shoulder open first, even into the left knee, and then drape your head over your left shoulder and tug the right shoulder slightly away so that you get a good deep stretch in the neckline. Reach that right palm high, place the palm on the ground, walk your hands forward in a wide V shape, left shoulder snuggles to the inside of the left knee if it can get there. Bow your head, relax your torso, keep the legs strong, breath full. And now begin to slide the hands back a fraction, straighten the left leg and bow your head. It kind of gives a new dimension to the stretch, doing it with this angle of the body, because we work into the inner hamstrings, we'll find the inner groin. Beautiful. Walk your hands between both feet, spin the feet, match heels to heels in a line. Prasarita Padottanasana once again. Walk your hands forward and then engage up through the hamstrings and find a dynamic interplay between the inner thighs, the quadriceps, and the hamstrings as you find your deep pregnancy version, which is with a long spine, creating space for the uterus. Working into the feet once again. Rotate the right toes outwards
slightly. Press up onto the ball of the right foot so the right heel lifts high. And then shift your weight over that right heel as you flex the left foot.
We're now working strongly into the arch of the foot. We're creating strength. You can walk both hands down the inner line of the left leg. Walk the fingertips forward as far as you can, baby between your thighs as you fold. Another deep inner thigh stretch. Creating strength in that right foot and the right arch. Gently walk your hands back. Spin your right knee onto the ground and glide your hips forward. You're back in your low lunge. We're going to take it as low as you wish. You might keep both hands on the ground, or you might take 3 breaths with the forearms on the mat in the deepest variation of the lunge. Do what feels okay for your pelvis. It may be quite high. If you have pubic bone pain, that is pubic symphysis pain, you'll keep the hips high and stay high. This ensures that you don't shear the pubic bones and they do this and that causes pain. And that can happen when the ligaments really start to stretch, particularly later. Second pregnancies, as Tammy might tell you, it could start a little bit earlier. It could never happen. But for some women, if they're feeling pubic symphysis pain, they know what it is. If you're asking, what's pubic symphysis pain? It's because you don't have it. So you don't need to worry too much about it. Shift your weight back onto all fours. Spread your fingers on the mat, tuck toes. Remember, round the spine to scoop baby up. This saves the linea alba, which is a strip of fascia from the breastbone right down to the pubic bone. It's a horizontal tissue that can sometimes overstretch and create a separation between the abdominals. We don't want that to happen. Look at your right palm, step your right foot forward, rotate the left toes out. You're in a warrior one foundation and Phoenix wings to flight. Inhale. Exhale, full, deep, broad, expansive. Beautiful. Remember to keep finding your foundation. Feet firm. After your third pass, take your time. You could be way behind if you had to reposition yourself. Take your time. After your third pass, you'll interlace, flip the interlace to the sky and find sturdiness. Right forearm to the thigh. Don't conk into the shoulder. Make sure the shoulder is engaged into the socket. 3 sweeps. Spread those fingers. Inhale, halo. Keep the elbow bent. Spin it back around, mobilizing the ribs at the same time. Beautiful. These are intentional movements. You're not just swinging your arm around like a windmill. You're engaging. And this teases out all the tight spaces. Beautiful. It makes you feel good. Half bind that left arm behind you. First of all, taking the gaze over the left shoulder and then gently draping your head over the right shoulder. You'll get this really amazing stretch through the left neck. Try not to collapse the right shoulder. Keep the shoulder drawn in and back. I love your cat, Aliki. Reach the left arm high, place both hands on the ground. Walk your hands out in a bit of a V shape, still keeping the shape of the legs. And then release the neck. Keep the frame of the legs for another 2 deep breaths, strong legs. Slide your palms back slightly. It's a fraction. And begin to slowly, against a little bit of resistance, pushing into the feet and then straightening that right leg. And as we use resistance by pressing into the feet and pulling them slightly apart or away from each other, it's a micro movement. And then drawing the leg towards straight, you'll feel a different kind of engagement with the various levels of the body.
Walk your palms back. Spin. Turn the toes out this time. Wide goddess as you press the hands just above the knees and deepen into this wide goddess. I cannot tell you how good this shape can feel in labor. It feels empowering. It helps bring baby down. It can help lengthen the spine. If you've had some really serious surges through the body, you can take the intensity out of the spine by getting that length, dropping into the pelvis, helping baby down, and then scooping one shoulder over to the opposite side, twisting. This helps take tension out of the spine, preparing you for the next surge, and then you'll spin the other shoulder and do the same again. And if you've been feeling at any point like, oh, this is hard work, this labor seems to be going on, get into this shape and call on Kali. She is the goddess of destruction as well as birth. So she destroys the old in order to bring forth the new, and she's fierce. If you see her in images, she's like, got her tongue hanging out, the skulls all over the place, all the things that she's destroyed in order to rebirth something new. And we all have to call on her at some point, because birth is a huge transition and it takes everything at some point to bring that baby through and out. Straightening the legs, inhale, reach your arms high. And then turn the toes to face the long edge of the mat. Two choices this time. You can either bring your hands back down to the ground, or you can interlace your hands behind you and take a shoulder stretch as you fold deeply into your Prasarita-Padottanasana. And absolutely, if you want the arms forward, if you've got horrible heartburn, don't even try the arm variation. And now, if you can, Sarah, relax your neck more and then bring the arms up and over if the shoulders allow. So you've got plenty of space in your hamstrings, Sarah, but your shoulders are like, okay, there we go. Nice. Nice. Place the palms on the ground. Spin your left toes to the corner of the mat. Press up onto the ball of the left foot. Shift the hips over and onto that left heel. The heel is lifted. Flex the right foot. Walk your hands down the inner line of that right leg and fold. So the right leg is straight. You're on the ball of the left foot. That's it. And then walk your hands down the inner line of the leg. And just take a good stretch. Strengthening the left foot as well as finding the hamstrings on the right side. As you lift your gaze, you can walk your hands back. Softly spin that left knee onto the mat. Glide your hips forward. You're in a low lunge. You can take the lunge deep or keep it high, just listening into the hips. What do they need? They need to stay high, or can you take it all the way and just explore the sensations here? Beautiful. Placing palms onto the ground. Gently come onto your knees. Sit down on the heels. And relax your shoulders, hands on the thighs. Take a deep breath in and a long sigh out of the mouth. Relaxing the jaw. As you close your eyes, notice your energy body. It is your biosphere. It belongs to you. It is an electromagnetic field just outside of your skin, about 30 centimeters wide, measurable by science, and sometimes felt by self when you become quiet and listen. Sometimes the sensation of movement, swirling, color, whatever it may be. Becoming aware that we have several layers of body
physical, internal, and then this field that is just outside of the skin, the biosphere. And as we strengthen this biosphere, we also strengthen our boundaries. So that those people that think that it's okay to just put their hand out and touch your belly, they won't get past that biosphere because it'll be strong. Taking a hand back to heart, back to baby, and just settling for a moment, completely in each other's company, enjoying that sense of a secret life growing within and the magnificence of that. And also taking a moment to affirm that we are the co-creators of a new world, regardless of what's happening out there. We are bringing these children into an earth that we are part of creating. Our choices will make this earth what it needs to be for our children. And that is powerful. Placing hands to heart center if that feels appropriate in Anjali Mudra, pray. O cosmic birther of all radiance and vibration, soften the ground of our being and carve out a space within us where your presence can abide. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take your Shavasana, your relaxation. If anybody needs any recordings to do some extra classes, ask for them. Otherwise, I will see you on the mat next time. Have a beautiful evening. Why not? And do take your Shavasana. Don't run off to the toddlers. That's for you, Tammy. Even if it's 1 minute. So much love to you all.